Mistakes in the snatch happen, but we have to know why they're happening and give you guys cues so that you can improve your overall snatch technique. That first key error that we will typically see is an athlete not making contact in the snatch. So Jake's gonna demonstrate what that looks like. There's no contact from the thigh. We want to see that, but it's not happening. And he has to take a step forward to correct that. So what we want is we would cue pull slower. We would even cue make a brushing contact, or sometimes, this is painful for me to say, I will tell an athlete to actually bang the bar off their thighs if they're really struggling to make that contact. So that next key error that we will also see with people who are executing a snatch is as the bar passes their knees, they start to bend in their arms to pull the bar into the hip. This is typically happening because they don't reciprocate their knees forward, they don't push through their heels, and they don't extend their hips early enough. So they forcefully bring the bar into their hips by bending their arms. So Jake's gonna demonstrate that. Early arm bend. So what we wanna focus on is having a slower pull into the hip where the arms stay nice and tight and the knees reciprocate forward. So the cue would be slower pull into the hip. Go slow, snatch, pull into the hip. There you go, perfect. Great job, Jake. Another consistent problem that athletes have is they will hit their knees when they're doing a snatch. So they are actually pulling too quickly off of the floor and they're losing that acceleration. They're accelerating too fast. And that leads to their knees staying forward and they make contact with their kneecap. A great cue to fix this is to push their knees back. Have the athlete go with a slow pull, push your knees back. Push your knees back off the floor will help clear the knees so that the bar stays tighter without hitting the kneecap. Consistently, athletes will push the bar forward off of the floor. If you're pushing the bar forward off the floor, we want to think about clearing the knees back and keeping that tight from the floor to the knee. So clearing the knees back is a great cue. Otherwise, focus on pushing the knees back, and that's also going to help you keep that bar nice and tight without bumping the bar forward. Jake's going to demonstrate what it looks like to push the bar forward off the floor, and that keeps everything out in front of him. Now he's going to demonstrate how that bar comes into his knees. Good, and you can hear it's just so much quieter, there's less noise, and it's more precise movement by keeping the bar tight, clearing the knees back right off the floor, pushing more force into the heel. A lot of athletes, when they're snatching, they'll miss the bar forward in the catch position. This is going to be because something happened earlier in the sequence that put the bar out of position. It could be the bar wasn't tight past the knee. It could be the athlete didn't stay on their heels. But what ends up happening is the bar stays forward and they have to run under it. So Jake's going to demonstrate what that looks like. Taking one step forward to save it. Okay, good job. Now, the cue that I would give here is, Jake, push through your heels, keep the bar tighter, keep the upper back tighter, shrug more. Push through the heels, bar tighter, upper back tighter. Good, so that keeps everything much tighter. Drive through the heels, keep a tight upper back, and even add in that big shrug on the finish. Athletes who miss the bar behind. First of all, we should know we always can drop the bar behind. If it goes behind, come forward as quickly as possible. If this is happening, it's typically occurring because someone is getting their chest too far behind and then their butt doesn't get back fast enough to get into a stable position. So we want to keep on our heels as long as possible and get our butt back as quickly as possible into that catch position. Jake's going to demonstrate a bad catch, losing the bar behind, and then we're going to show how you can fix that. Okay, good. So a lot of his weight was on his toe when he caught, instead of being back on the heel with his butt behind his heels on the catch. So we want to think, stay flat-footed as long as possible, catch flat-footed as early as possible. Just do a power snatch here, Jake. Good, good. So that will help keep the bar as tight as you can. And if you're even struggling with that, you can make the pull a little bit slower, and that will make the pull more precise so that you have a better catch.